our roundtable meetings. But in this extraordinary year, there's, as I said, so many moving parts, we thought it would be helpful to move to meet weekly. And also as part of this, we're taking on topics that aren't typically site council. We're just rolling in everything that's kind of school preparation wide so that we can keep everybody as informed as possible for this. I know for those of you who've been on previous calls, you've heard a little bit about what is site council and how does it relate to PTA. When I send out the kind of resend of the first week's meetings, there'll be some attachments for that will give you some time to think about that. But really, site council is something that all Minneapolis public schools have. It's part of an extension of the Office of Family Engagement, and it's really helping guide, working with Tammy really to help guide decisions for the school related to academic achievement and specifically Title I. So Title I is what requires all the schools to have a site council. And then each school is able to have their own version of what that site council is, kind of beyond those basic requirements. And, you know, our version of this in recent years has really been instrumental in getting the addition onto the school. I think, as Hillary mentioned last week, has been instrumental in, you know, setting snack policy. More recently, we've been focusing on cultural literacy and issues of equity in our school. So sponsoring these speaker series at the roundtables, and also sponsoring guest artists. For those of you who remember Wing Young Huey's residency with our E2 students. So maybe we should start, let's see, with just some basic introductions to get to know everybody here and what your connection is to the school. So I'll start again. My name is Jim Moore. I'm with Tammy, a co-chair for the site council, and I have a rising 7th grader. And we'll move to Christian.
Hi, I'm Christian Novak. I am chair of the Seward Montessori PTA. I have a kindergartner and a 2nd grader in E1.
Katie, you're next on my screen.
Hi, I'm Katie. I've been with the site council maybe about a year, and I've got a 3rd grader and a kindergartner. And I'll pass to, it says Hannah P.
Hi, I'm Hannah. I have an upcoming 5th grader in E2.
Thanks, Hannah. Melissa Townsend.
Hi, I'm Melissa, and I used to recruit room parents, but other than that, I don't really have any formal involvement. And I have a daughter who will be in 6th grade, our first middle school, and a daughter who will be in 3rd grade.
Excellent.
How about Hillary?
I'm Hillary Ottman. I have a rising 6th grader, Henry, and a recently graduated 8th grader who's headed to South. And I have been serving on both the PTA board and the site council for the last few years. Oh, and I just wanted to mention, if you don't already have your full name in identifying yourself, it's helpful for folks if you just do, you can click on the, either on your name in the participants list or the 3 little dots on the next to your photo, and you can choose rename and type in your name. That's helpful for just sort of getting everybody to know who we all are. Thanks. Oh, how about Bryn Nelson?
Sorry, I was muted. My name is Bryn Nelson. My daughter is Ava Weiss, and she's just transferring from Falwell Performing Arts to Seward this year. She's starting 6th grade. Thank you. I don't know who's next because my scroll is done. Let me see. Who hasn't been called?
How about Annie? Pass.
I'm in the same boat. I won't know who's next either, but I'm Annie. I have someone going into 2nd grade and someone going into 4th grade. Tag, you're at Erin.
Hey everybody, I'm Erin. I have a kid going into 1st grade and 4th grade, and this is I've been on the site council for about a year. Let's see, Alana, are you on here? See your name.
Yep, I am. Hi. Hi, I'm Alana Gravitz. I have a kid going into 4th grade, and this is just the 2nd time I'm coming to a site council meeting. I am on a phone and I can't see anything about who is still here. So I don't know, is there anyone left, I guess?
How about Tammy?
Hi, everyone. It's nice to see you. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Tammy. I'm the principal at Seward. It's like I said, I feel really lucky that you're all here tonight. Welcome.
Amanda Lovely?
Hi, I'm Amanda Lovely, and I have a 3rd grader.
Maybe. How about moving on to Meg?
Hi, I'm Meg. I've got a 2nd grader and a 5th grader.
Ness?
Are you there, Ness? How about we move on to Abdullahi Ahmed?
Yeah, hi. Yeah, hi, can you hear?
Yes.
Okay, hi, my name is Abdullahi Ahmed. People know me Abdullahi Jr. I am associate educator at Seward, and I will be interpreting tonight as needed.
Thank you so much. Let's see. Callie, have you gone?
Hi everyone, I'm Callie. I have a rising 4th grader. I've been on the site council, I think for at least 2 years, maybe 3, and then I'm the treasurer of the PTA. This will be my 4th year.
Shall we try Ness again?
Is it working now?
Yes.
Okay, I have 2 mute buttons, so I guess I have to get the right combination. I'm Ness. I have a 1st grader and a 3rd grader.
Cecilia Sheen.
Hi, Cecilia here. I have a kindergartner and a 5th grader.
John Neely.
I'm Hannah. John's my husband. I think we're trying to feed our kids dinner, so we're both. So we have a 1st grader and a 3rd grader, and we will be not reliably paying attention necessarily.
No worries. Sorry, it's over the dinner hour.
No, it's fine.
Lisa Hare.
Hello, I'm Lisa, and I'm an E2 teacher at Seward. That's 4th and 5th grade. And this might be my first site council meeting. And I'm just here to listen to see what goes on in site council. And I may or may not stay for the whole thing. I am multitasking myself, so.
Okay. Did Molly Madeline go yet?
I got a message. There's a message from her in the chat that says that she was trying to get on the screen, but it's not working. So
okay.
She has an 8th grader this year.
What about Michonne?
Hi, I'm Michonne. I have a son entering 6th grade this year.
Tammy Jowert.
Hi, I have a 4th grader and an 8th grader this year.
Great. Laura Baldwin.
Hi, sorry. I'm Laura Baldwin. I have twins who are entering 5th grade and an 8th grader.
And then if there's anybody else who we've missed who's joined the call since I sort of went down the list, why don't you jump on now and introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Angel. I have a 5th grader and 2 twins who are going into 1st grade.
I'm Amanda, and I've got a 4th grader.
Hi everyone,
All
it's Molly. You can't see me because I don't know why shouldn't I be able to just click the little camera
Start video.
icon?
Yeah.
Can you start video?
I guess it's not
Depends on your Wi-Fi. Sometimes if you don't have a strong connection, it's hard to do the video.
Okay. I just wanted to know if I was clicking on the right thing. No big deal. Hi everybody.
Hi, Molly.
Hi,
Is there anybody else who still needs to introduce themselves?
Ann Applebaum wrote in the chat that she can't do audio, but she has a 2nd grader.
Thanks. And Anshan?
Oh, it sounded like Anshan was in line somewhere. Let's see, where was his name?
Anshan Eckerd?
Yes. He has a rising 2nd grader and a 4-year-old.
Anshan is the mom of
sorry.
that family.
Anshan. Anshan, thank you.
Thank you. Excellent. All right, well, welcome everyone. This is by far our largest site council meeting, so this is really, really good to see everyone. Thought we'd start with some back to school updates. Many of you may have already heard a version of this. I know my house just heard Tammy's voice on the phone from the robot call just minutes before this call. But Tammy, is there a summary of that you want to give to this group, or?
Sure. So we have welcome back events planned for Wednesday, September 2nd and Thursday, September 3rd. We'll host people out in Matthews Park. Wednesday is Children's House in E1, Thursday E2 in middle school, knowing that, again, and I included this in the robocall, we know families have children across grade levels. I just ask families to choose whichever night fit their family's needs or the best time for them, as well as we ask that from 3 to 4 families with the last names A through L come, and then 4 to 5 M through Z, again, just to keep congestion to a minimum, but also knowing if families need to come at a different time, we just want to make it work. We'd like to see as many families as possible. So the event will include picking up a computer if somebody needs a computer, meeting staff, picking up school supplies or learning kits, and there's one other thing. And seeing staff making a connection.
School supplies?
Yep, and there'll be some school supplies and learning kits available to pick up. And then for families who can't make it that night, we'll do a circle drive pickup similar to what we did in the spring. For those of you who came and picked up, if your student left, your child left, coats, boots, hats, mittens, school supplies, we had you drive through and we ran it out. We'll do that for families who can't make it. So that'll be fun. We're excited to do a welcome in person. I requested everybody wear their masks and, try to stay 6 feet apart, just to keep everyone safe and healthy. The other update is school supply lists will be posted. I just saw Christine out for a walk, so we emailed those to her while she was on the walk. She will have them up tonight when she gets home. So, and the school supply lists are by grade band. As you know, and I'd asked Christian to post, the district was doing a supply drive. They didn't get as many supplies as they thought they would. And so we're doing an order. We put the supply list out on the website so families can get supplies if they choose or are and can afford to, right? Like, this is a hard time. Lots of our families have lost jobs. We will supply school supplies, but we also know that shopping for school supplies is a tradition for some people. So, you know, kids like to go and pick out a notebook or a lunchbox or a something or a backpack. So we also want to honor some kind of traditional thing, but knowing that we can help on our end as well. Okay. And then the last thing I did on the robocall was just remind people about this meeting.
Thanks, Tammy.
Yeah, we're excited about that. Welcome back, by the way. Looking forward to seeing people.
Tammy, are there any things that parents can do to support or help out with the open house events?
Yeah, you know what? There might be. So, you know, it's all a timing thing right now, right? Like the Montessori materials at the print shop, when are they coming? How getting those learning kits together and the computers are out. So I will know more by, let's see, probably by this Thursday or Friday, what we're going to need. And I will definitely put a call out. One thing I'm sleeping better about is we actually have devices, computers that were already delivered to us for our kids. We don't have enough yet, but they know what our numbers are and we'll get more. So, and it was nice today. Leanne Hilger, our school psychologist, her boys needed volunteer hours. They're high schoolers, they needed to volunteer. So they actually came in and made sure all the computers are in working condition. They charged them. They separated the ones that were broken. So I feel really good to go about that, which is critical, right? Making sure that everybody has a device that they need to get their learning done. So please just know I will be reaching out by the end of this week to get your help and assistance in putting things together. Carrie and I have talked. Carrie Cashman, family liaison, and I have talked, and I've talked with Saeed as well about how we get the word out. So we have some plans in place. It'll just depend upon when everything gets here. Thanks for your patience. Yeah.
Tammy, you also mentioned a couple meetings ago about the distance learning tutorial videos. Do you still need help with those?
Yeah, you know, Kate Mueller is doing those. And let me ask her what next steps are. So one thing we did, I think most of you, hopefully most of you, got a phone call from a staff member asking if you needed a device, updating contact information. So one thing Kate did when she called families was asked about whether families were interested in attending one of her tutorials and learning the different platforms. So we've been compiling a list of families who want to know more, who need to know more, and she's doing that on an as-needed basis. But I will certainly, so I know she has Abdullahi and Saeed to help her as well, but she may need more support. I will let her know that you're here to help.
Great.
And we're really excited about that effort.
If we didn't
Melissa.
If we didn't get a call last week, what does that mean?
Then I'm sorry that you didn't get a call. Just checking to see if you needed a computer or if you need to update your contact information.
Okay, but there was no information about like who the teacher is or what the schedule will be. That's not out yet.
Nope, wait. Teacher assignments went out in report cards. And remember a couple of weeks ago, you brought it to my attention that a lot of you didn't get your report cards. So we asked them to send report cards out again, and they did. They sent another round. Are you all telling me you didn't get a report card yet with classroom assignments?
I got a report card, but I didn't see a classroom or an advisor. I guess for middle school, it would be an advisory.
Yeah.
No, I didn't either.
Okay.
It just was the report card pages.
Okay.
So let me look into what happened with 5th to 6th grade, rising 6th graders, right? And we'll figure out a way to get that out. I'll ask the middle school team how we're going to get that information to you, because it's,
I mean, maybe would it have been, maybe I just needed to look more closely, and it's
usually it's at the bottom.
Okay.
Where it says like next grade and then something else.
Okay, I may have just missed it. I
think
didn't.
it was in like the teacher's comments. Like the little box with like the teacher's comments is where I think I saw
Is that where it was? Okay.
And
I was
those
just
who are
curious.
starting this year. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. So for my daughter didn't get a report card. This is her first year.
Yeah.
People just starting. How do we get our teacher assignments?
Yeah. So Bryn, if you will just send me an email later tonight or whatever, I'll look it up.
Thank you.
Yeah, happy to help.
Thank
and
you.
put the word out. If people don't know, just email me. I can look it up.
And as a follow-up to Melissa, if folks find the reaction button and can do a thumbs up if you have received a phone call from a staff person at school about technology. How many people have received that phone call? If you could do a thumbs up, or just wave your hand, give a thumbs up if you can't find a reaction button.
Yeah. And we know some of you are multitasking, so don't worry.
Yeah. So
and you know, we also have a cushion. So don't panic if you didn't get one. We have a cushion. We'll make sure we'll make it right for you and your student. Okay?
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
I just want to confirm that on the report card, there is no teacher for my rising 6th graders. So,
okay.
Yes.
Melissa, if you'll send me an email about that too. And then keep in mind with the multi-age, if your student was a 4th grader last year, they have the same teacher for 5th grade this year. And the same thing with 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. But I'm happy to, if again, just send me an email and I will, I'll get back to you and spread the word. And then I'll connect with the middle school team. Well, we're back tomorrow. The teachers come back tomorrow. But some of them were here today. Because teachers can be in the building now. And they're allowed to teach from their classrooms if they choose to. So there were a bunch of them here today. It was fun to see them. But our first official day is tomorrow, and we're kicking off with Makari. And she's going to do some work on equity and being anti-racist, and kind of frame our work around that. And then Erin's going to follow up next week. And Erin, I'm sorry, I will get that time to you. Erin's going to follow up next week with just about stress in the brain, right? So between COVID and the murder of George Floyd, our kids have seen a lot, they've heard a lot, it's on the news a lot, it's everywhere all the time, and how we help them matters. So the first thing we need to do is honor and respect the adults in the building and help give them tools and give them also time to talk about where they're at and their feelings, and talk about why this work is so important. And then, and I share this with you because like all year we're dedicated to this, but for sure the first few weeks of school, a major focus is going to be community building, giving kids power, voice to talk about what's going on with them, not forcing it, right? And also being well aware. We know we have 4-year-olds to 14-year-olds in the school. So we want to do things in developmentally appropriate ways. And also, but like I said, really help kids first develop community, and second, have a safe space and encourage them to have a voice. Does that all make sense to you? Okay, thanks.
Tammy, I was just curious with professional development, is that happening on site, or how are you? It's all remote. People tune in.
Yeah, it's all virtual. And people will tune in. Like, so some people are coming to the building, but they'll be 6 feet apart and they might sit in a circle and take notes or, you know, whatever, but everything's virtual.
Mm-hmm.
So we have, so tomorrow we're working with Makari. One day we'll work on our writing goal. We'll talk about distance learning expectations. I heard people talk about schedules. We are finalizing schedules right now. Claire's next door, hammering out schedules. We've spent a lot of time with the teams trying to make this right. But the good news is you will have a schedule with really clear expectations about what's going on with teaching and learning. It just takes, everything takes so much longer virtually, as you can imagine. And then we also want to be sensitive to family needs, right? So we recognize families with lots of kids, or even one kid, when you're working and they might need help or whatever, we also want to be sensitive. But the schedules are super close to being done.
Great.
Yeah, and they have to meet MDE guidelines, district guidelines. So anyway, the teachers have been really great and really responsive in helping us create these.
I know one thing a few parents have asked is there professional development that's happening that specifically relates to distance learning? Like how, you know, what is that? Can you tell us about that?
Yes. So the district actually is hosting most of that with sessions around the formats, going deeper with the formats, understanding them more, knowing what the tricks are to make it more effective. They're also offering very specific. So for example, there's some Lexia training, which is a reading program. You might have heard of it a little bit last spring, but all the teachers pre-K through 8th grade will get trained in how to use that and how to use it really effectively for some reading skills, all of the reading skills. And it's leveled, right? So, oh, you know what it's like? It's like Dreambox. So if you're familiar with the Dreambox, it's similar to that, except that, what's the difference? There's one major difference that I'm not gonna remember. Oh, I know, the teachers can't assign. In Dreambox, teachers can go and assign certain standards or certain kinds of problems. In Lexia, they can't. Okay. So it'll be a lot of those online things. Hillary, it'll also be how to build community virtually, how to help kids connect virtually. I'm trying to think what else is on the menu. Just other, so I think there's a session on, it's not, there's Nearpod and Lisa Hare. Do you remember what the other Nearpod? It's just another forum for, or platform for getting kids interacting, but I can't remember the other one. They're very similar, but anyway, again, that's it. Teachers can put questions or whatever out there, and all of the kids can answer. They can put things in graphs together. It's definitely interactive, and it gets the kids interacting. So that's another platform for them to use. Does that help? Mm-hmm. Lots of things like that.
Another question that's come up is just, and maybe you're still not sure, but if you can answer this, is will students have a schedule that is like more like the typical school day, like logging in at a certain time or something?
Yes. It'll be more typical. However, we're not asking kids to be online learning for whatever many hours, okay? Yeah. That is not the ask, but the scheduling is more typical to a school day. Okay. But not on camera, not on a device all day long. So what that might look like is, I'm just gonna pick Melissa, I don't know. So Melissa, so everybody has to have a morning meeting. Middle school has to have advisory because that's our community building time. That's our time for relationships with kids, connecting kids. And then, so Melissa might do a live lesson and how to write a sentence, right? Nouns and verbs. And she might put that out there and gives the kids some practice, some modeling, and then she might say to them, okay, now your assignment is to go and write a story using 5 sentences, blah, blah, blah. And then she's available, and then she'll say, and we're gonna check back in about this work, and I'm gonna give you some feedback at this time, or at the end of the hour, or whatever it is, right? And there's lunch built in, there's recess that's built in, there's so that as much interactive and live as possible, but also knowing it can't be that all day. Does that make a little bit of sense?
Yeah.
And we've all talked about including our specialists. There'll be a specialist schedule, so you'll know when your student has art, music, PE, science, health, and as much interactive as possible, but also just knowing kids cannot be online all the time. No one can. It's not healthy for anyone. The other thing that is a little different is there's an end of the day check-in time for elementary, not middle, but elementary. A circle back time, like how'd the day go? What's going on for you? Do you have any other further questions? Can I help? Those kinds of things.
Great.
Okay,
I know a follow-up I just wanted to ask from, I think our first meeting we had, the site council meeting, was a parent wanted to know if there was any plans, how to make that first day and that first week of school sort of feel exciting and get kids excited and feel connected to their classroom and their teacher when they're going to be distance. And so, I know that teachers are just coming back, but just asking if there's been any more ideas about that.
Oh, wait, I was answering a question that somebody put in the chat. Say that again, Hillary.
Oh, the parent who had asked at our first meeting about ideas for how to connect kids to their teacher and to each other, and make them excited about that first day and first week of school. And since they're not going to be in person, like how to kind of whether there's an opportunity to even do like a social distance meetup in the park at some point that first week, or just otherwise how to create that connection online. Like, just what are plans that might be afoot for that?
Yeah, so many the teachers have asked if they could or organize something like that, and the district has vetoed that. Just so it doesn't get out of control. Do you hear what I'm saying? But it's not for a lack of wanting or trying. I mean, we were like, we could put kids in the courtyard with the teacher, we could move, but they have not given us permission to do that. And I get it on one hand, but on the other hand, it would be really a nice thing to do. We'll just keep asking. If the cases of COVID could go down in the county, that would be promising. And of course, we need everybody to do the right thing, wear their masks, stay apart for that to happen. Oh, thanks.
Is there a specific sort of like threshold in terms of, I don't know, infection percentage or number of cases that the district is using as a barometer of when they would maybe turn that dial, like, and allow for that sort of maybe an in-person
meetup? You know what, Hillary,
is, but I can't remember it. It's on, but I bet it's on the district's website with the distance learning stuff. I think that Superintendent Graff, I think there is and I think it actually came from MDE, right? MDE put some guidelines out about who could go back when. And that's why, some other districts around us can do a hybrid, and we just aren't able to yet in Hennepin County. But I can't remember what it was. I'm sorry. I can look it up.
That's okay. I can too. I've been offline for a while. So did you see, Tammy, there's a question. Can you answer that question about attendance?
Yeah. So first, I know, Angel, that's a really good question. Yes, the schedule is flexible. We want as much connection as possible, but we understand that it has to be flexible. And then, yes, attending one or two of the live sessions works. And then going back to it, I hope you also saw that, Lisa said some of the teachers will have recorded lessons that people can go back to as well. But yeah, we're going to allow for flexibility, no doubt about it.
I just wanted to comment on the guidelines from MDE.
Yeah.
That Minneapolis numbers are so high. So the Hennepin County, so over.
Yes.
we have to be a hybrid. Minneapolis numbers have to go down.
Yes, thank you. You're right. I misspoke. And and here's the thing. So there is an attendance policy that the district put out and that we are putting out, that if your student is sick and won't be online at all, you should call in on the attendance line. And we have the criteria is a student needs to have an interaction with a teacher every single day, at least one time, right? So, and again, we're not going to be punitive about attendance, folks, unless it's really excessive, right? I mean, we know, and everybody's been so good about either connecting with us or we're calling families saying, is everything okay? What's going on? Well, this, and this. So, but we don't want to be punitive, okay? We want to be reasonable.
Right. I remember at our last meeting when you couldn't be there, when Jessica was there, a number of kindergarten parents, or otherwise pre-K or kindergarten parents, and maybe even some first grade parents are planning to, because they work full-time, are putting their kids in full-time daycare.
Yep.
And it's, for some, it doesn't seem like it's an option, or you have to pay an additional fee for distance learning. And so they were especially wondering, what happens if we don't get home until 5 and there's no live anything at that point? How does that count towards if they do things online, or attendance questions?
Right. So no matter what, the assignments will be posted, and then we have 3 days to go back if a student if a student didn't check in until late on Monday and the teacher doesn't catch it till Tuesday, the teacher can still go back and mark the student present within a 3-day window. And I think we were pretty fair about that and reasonable about that last year or last spring. And we plan to do that again. So there is a window there, because, quite honestly, lots of our middle school kids got on pretty late at night to complete their work last spring. And so we're well versed in that. And Michonne, last spring, middle school took attendance in advisory. And so it wasn't every single hour of every single day. And I think we'll be doing that again, just because, but I'm not 100% sure. That's a question that's out there for middle school about attendance. So I'm not gonna lie, but last year we took it in advisory. And that being said, the teachers still took attendance during class time, because if we weren't seeing middle school kids showing up, then we were calling them, asking if they were okay, and to also do their work. And if your student needs a reading specialist or other assistance, that will be online. Seward was not chosen as one of the schools yet to do in-person tutoring.
Do you know which schools, like how many schools were?
I have no idea.
Yeah. There, let's see. Yeah, having a middle schooler last year, I can just say that it seemed like it worked really well. The check-in with advisory in the morning, and then students, typically the other teachers had assignments at the beginning of the week that were due by the end of the week, and had sometimes like a recorded lesson, like Russ frequently for his social studies had a recorded lesson that the kids could watch each day, and they just had to turn in their work by Friday usually. And math, similarly, there'd be like a recorded lesson. Sometimes most of the middle school teachers would also offer like office hours, like if you had questions or needed help, there would be hours you could check in with them live. And so it depends. I'm not sure how they may change that up, but I don't think that anybody is probably going to move to like you need to be live with your middle school, with every hour every day. I think they'll probably still do something pretty similar to last spring.
Yeah. So Tammy, I see your question about the middle school. So students will have a middle school schedule. We're going to run middle school like a typical day with some breaks, right? Kids you should get to go to the bathroom. You should get, like there's passing time usually. There's going to be an advisory every single day that's longer than normal advisory. So usually middle school advisory is about 12 minutes, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and we have an extended advisory on Wednesdays. We're going to run like a 20 to 30 minute advisory every day for a check-in. And then what we decided earlier today is the middle school teachers are going to meet at a team meeting and talk about when they're going to be giving live lessons and publish that, so the kids know exactly where they need to be when, and to be careful so that they hit the classes and the assignments that they want the live lessons for, and then the other lessons will be posted online, and the teachers will have office hours, just like Hillary said, for help.
Will that all happen between 7 and 2?
Yep. It'll all happen between 7 and 2. And like Hillary said, I think last year we ran into a couple of glitches where teachers were teaching live at the same time, and we don't want to do that. So, and I think we talked today, we think we've figured out a way to make it happen so that it won't overlap.
When will we get those schedules?
Well, I'm hoping that the schedules will be posted by the end of the week.
On the website?
Yep. Well, if you have a rising 6th grader, schedules should be released pretty soon for their classes.
Like including electives, what they've got?
Yep.
Okay. Released being, we'll get it individually?
You can find it on, I think your child can look it up in their grade book.
Or in their portal?
Yeah. Oh, their portal, sorry.
So 6th grade parents, you have to then, if you haven't yet logged in to your parent portal, there's probably instructions on the website. I remember as a 6th grade parent joining the portal.
Like, I'm going to text Kaiser right now and ask if they've been released.
Oh, here Tammy's saying September 1st student portal. Has there been an announcement that's when it's going to be released on the portal?
I don't know, I'm asking.
Okay. That was in the chat.
Okay, I see it. Maybe that's right. Margot would know.
Okay. She's saying that's what it says on the portal right now.
Okay, perfect. So September 1st.
So definitely, if you're a middle school parent, the portal is a key way to keep up with your student, and especially how they're doing, because the grades are posted there and assignments and what might be missing. But also just with Google Classroom, you can also be keeping tabs for all the different levels. There's, it shows what's turned in or what's not.
Any other questions?
To sign into the portal, do I need like my student ID, district ID?
I believe you do.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I got it. Okay, cool. It's on the report card.
On the report card.
And your student probably knows it by heart too.
Okay. So Kaisa said she just finished putting into their 6 hours, so that she just scheduled all the electives. So and then we're going to go back through and audit all of the classes. So it'll be September 1st.
And I see that Tammy Jowert posted in the chat that to log into the portal, you actually just need the student's email and their current password. Is that right? The student's email? It's been so long since I had to, I just have it up on my computer, so I haven't had to log in for a long time.
There we go. Okay.
Hillary, I think it was student number the first time you log in, and you establish a password, and then you use that from there.
Yeah, it's a distant memory, although I'm going to have to do it now for Henry, I guess. So I got to brush up.
Yeah, good questions, you guys. Keep them coming. If you have any other questions, just email me. Okay.
And could you type your email into the chat so that people can grab that easily?
Yep, happy to. And then also, I'm just giving you a heads up. The building closes at 6, and we're both still here. So if we have to, like, we can stay a little bit later, but just know, like, if we have to log off, it's not for lack of interest. The guys have to shut the building down.
Yeah.
All right. So should we turn it over to, is Ness giving an update?
That'd be great. Ness or Amanda?
Yeah. Is my microphone working?
Yes.
Okay. So like we got the grant submitted last week, and we're really excited about that. So thanks to Rachel Wydome. I think she's on here. She did a really thorough reading for us and gave us some great edits and feedback, and is an epidemiologist. So that was really helpful. Anyway, it's in. Now we wait. We're expecting to hear something from them this week about fit and expediting, but we're kind of in a holding pattern right now. We had planned to like try and put together some groups, like send out a survey about interest around being on different teams for volunteering, but we're feeling like that's a little bit premature just because there's so many details right now that we don't have, like, is it going to happen at all, for starters, and then now we know a little bit more about the teacher schedule and what that would look like. We can start to think a little bit and talk with teachers a little bit about what it might look like to do it as part of what they're already doing and what expectations already are. And then I hear Tammy saying that we're not allowed to have outdoor meetings for the first day, so that makes my heart sink a little bit. So there's still just a lot of unknowns. So our next steps are, we need to talk to the teacher. We need to continue calls with parents. I had some more calls last week. Feedback has been overwhelmingly positive. Calls with a survey to teachers, and then a forum probably for teachers to drop in and ask questions or share ideas. And I can't remember, Amanda, we had a third thing on the list of like kind of our next steps. Oh, like just sort of nail down the details of what this is going to look like and talk to the appropriate people about that. So like I said, we're just in a holding pattern now. We just cross our fingers and hope that we get some money.
Yeah. You know what, Ness?
Yeah.
Don't let your heart sink because of what I said. You know, the district just doesn't want us hosting kids like willy-nilly, right?
Sure.
Like, then if we do it, but if with a plan, with an outdoor learning actual plan, that's very different. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
If we do it, then other people might do it, and they just want, I mean, just for everyone's health and safety, right?
Yeah. That makes sense.
That's why. So don't, I wouldn't take that as anything, but if there's a plan, we can make it work.
Okay. Got it.
Especially if it's a pilot.
A pilot, correct.
Yeah, we're feeling cautiously optimistic, and we'll see what happens.
Fantastic. Tammy, did you have anything else for the group? Questions or otherwise? Any additional help you need from our group?
Yes and no. I just don't know my help yet. Like I said, I'll know more by the end of the week once materials and things start coming in. I already have an idea about how we could set up and do a social distance, like packing in either our cafeteria or outside. We've got tables. I just need everything in order. And I know that you will help. So I'm super grateful to all of you for being so flexible. And I'm sorry about the timing of everything. Like I said, everything just seems to take longer.
Yeah.
Tammy, are there any other staffing updates? I think the last time we heard from you a couple weeks ago, there were a few positions you were still trying to fill.
Yes. So let's see. Now I can't remember. So we hired an English language arts teacher for middle school.
And who was that replacing?
Sally
Larkins.
Yep. So we have 2 new ELA teachers. Michael and Shannon. And we're really excited. They're going to be good stuff together. They've already been collaborating, getting on the same, and we literally just hired Shannon Friday. So they are on board. Excited about that. We still need a science teacher. I would love it if anybody knew of a science teacher who wants to come. We had someone today that I thought was going to be great, but I think because of the comprehensive design, decided not to join us.
Because it means they only are there for 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is specifically for the middle school science teacher. Yeah.
Right.
Replacing, oh gosh.
Chelsea.
Right.
Yeah, and again, Chelsea just is leaving because her husband got transferred. It wasn't, that had nothing to do with the CDD. So, and let's see, we rehired Z. He will be working in Kathy Heine's kindergarten room. So we're excited about that.
Oh, great.
I know. Yeah, it's good. Good stuff. Lisa said she has an idea for parents. Lisa, yes, please share.
Are you there, Lisa?
She's on mute.
Yes, I'm here now.
Thanks, Lisa.
Okay, so we are always struggling to get our kids supplied with the quadrille notebooks. So that's the graph paper notebooks. And so if people are willing and able to scour the Target stores for the quadrille notebooks, and we prefer the ones that have the spirals, not the perforated, because the perforated papers fall out. But that would be wonderful to have a supply of those. I think they're about $2 a notebook. Then you could either sell them or just, if you're inclined, give them away and put them in those supply packages that some of the kids will get. So
the E2 team, okay.
Lisa, somebody asked if you could type that in the chat, exactly what you're looking for.
Yep. Yeah. Right, because there's a certain size too.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So I will do that.
And I would love if you could also post that in the Facebook group. We could then help spread the word about that. And if there's any other, Tammy, if you want to ask teachers if there's any other specific supplies that can be hard to acquire that are especially needed, that may not be part of what the district is dropping off, or that I think we could still do a supply drive specifically for Seward and drop things off either before next Wednesday or, in time for those open house, the welcome events.
Yeah.
So that those quadrille notebooks and other things can get into the hands of students.
Okay. Thanks, Hillary. I appreciate it. You want them to send it to you or post it on the Facebook page? How do you want them to get that out?
Well, you could email it to me and then I can put it out on Facebook, or we could, have Karin send out an email or something too.
Sure.
And I did want to mention, because this was posted on, I think in the Facebook group, that someone had asked at the last meeting, since Sarah Rose has taken a new position, who's going to be doing the school's website. And the news was that Christine Brand is the new web person and is busy updating the school website. So if you haven't checked the school website, you can start doing that. And she's getting a lot of information up there. And I think one of the things she mentioned that she's going to be doing is making sure that there's updated photos for every single staff person, so that you can have a visual of who your child's teachers are. specialists and every single staff person in the school. And I think there's only a handful right now who she still needs to post photos for. And I was wondering, Jim, has anybody been in touch with Carolyn Williams-Noren, or have we heard anything about the school directory? Because that was another thing that came up at the last meeting, was just parents wanting to figure out, you know, since they can't run into each other at pickup or drop off, how do they connect with other families? And the school directory, you know, is moved online several years ago, but a lot of families have not actually either ever created a profile or updated their profile. And so could we make a push to do that? Because the school obviously can't give out phone numbers and personal information. So that's just something to see if, I don't know if Carolyn's still, or if there's other volunteers who are willing to help with that, I think was one of the requests.
Hi, this is Callie. As far as I know, I think that Caroline is done doing promotion for that. I know I just paid the invoice, I think today, for the school toolkit is the program that we use. So
school, not the supplies thing, for the school directory.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Let me check my email. I'm gonna mute myself and I'll get back to you on that.
Okay. Okay.
Hillary, I haven't heard from her, but yeah, maybe we can ask folks at the PTA meeting
Tomorrow. Oh yes,
tomorrow.
we should mention that. Maybe Christian, are you still on? Do you wanna, if you are, I don't know if you're still on,
Yes.
if you wanna, okay, if you wanna just talk about the PTA and that we have a board meeting tomorrow morning, since we're looking for more people to get involved. Maybe he's busy. Well, I will mention then, at 8 a.m. tomorrow, there's a PTA board meeting, and I just realized I could post the Zoom. I will, right after we finish, I will post the Zoom link for that in the, on the Facebook page. I could try to look it up now and post it in the chat. But the PTA board is sort of, you know, the companion group to the site council. So it's focused more on planning for how to support the teachers and fundraising and events, and you know, the garden and the bike program and the read around, and you know, all of those sort of things that are part of the life of the school, but that are sort of typically outside what the administration does. So we sort of help, the PTA is what helps fund a lot of that work, and the directory is of course a project, and the Splash newsletter, and right now there's a lot of parents who have either recently had their kids graduate, or for whom this is their last year with a child at Seward because of the CDD, or just they're going to be graduating, and so we need a fresh infusion of volunteers to be getting involved with the PTA. And you know, this year it will be kind of more critical than ever that we have a lot of parent support for all these tasks and ways of supporting distance learning and supporting the teachers through this year.
Hi, sorry, this is Callie again. It's Membership Toolkit is the directory that we're using this year.
I'm sorry, could you say that again, Callie? What is it called?
It's called Membership Toolkit.
Okay, and that's the same one that we've been using, right?
Yeah, we used it last year. Was the first time
okay.
Used it. It was something else the year before.
Okay, I see a question from Hannah. Oh, thank you, Angel, for posting the PTA Zoom link and time in the chat. And then Hannah asked, is there a reliable non-Facebook place where things get posted, a central one, as no one in our house has a Facebook account? So Yes.
Yes.
Rob
Okay.
Rossi created a blog for the PTA. The PTA has its own website. So that would be the other place where things could get posted. But Rob has a new job that is keeping him busier. And so this is one of the areas where we need more parents to step up and volunteer to help with posting things, because those are the only two places where parents kind of have any direct control over posting things. Otherwise, it's, it has to go through the school office.
Okay, so I just answered too. So Claire made an amazing one-stop kind of shop for distance learning for the teachers on a Google Doc, and we plan to do the same thing for parents. You just have to give us a minute to get this week up and running, and then we'll put it on our school website as well. And there'll be a place to ask questions. We'll update things. I promise it'll be great.
I was actually going to ask that. I mean, parenting right now and working and all the other things. There are so many more questions, and it would be amazing if that could come from the school. So I really appreciate that, Tammy.
Yep, we'll get it. Yeah, I totally understand. And I'll be more available this year than last year too. I want to do more regular parent meetings so we can just get parents on and do some question and answer, get some feedback, those kinds of things. Okay.
Tammy, by the way, on that note, could we try to get a roundtable meeting scheduled? That's sort of the joint, typically that larger meeting for parents to attend and staff, sort of where the site council and the PTA and, you give an update, but it's versus these more, these are sort of more behind the scenes work group meetings.
Yep, sure. Next week?
Sure.
Week's booked.
Yeah, you can let us know after we get off. Check your schedule.
I'll send you guys an email. I'll check with Claire too, because she'll want to be there.
And then typically, I don't know if you want to try to continue the schedule of roundtables being, is it the second Thursday of the month in the evening? I mean, and just keep that schedule, but to have one quick one before the end of August here.
Yeah, I'm open to that if you all are. Okay, the guys are coming and dumping garbage. I got to get going.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for joining tonight.
Thank you.